Welcome, welcome to the 10th of your school day life. You know, school is a heaven-like place, and then it is completely your school life. Now you're into 10th. Congratulations, you have jumped up from the ninth to 10th class. That's really wonderful, you know. Welcome to your channel, Maths Champions Arena. I am your actually, you can call me as a friend where we will be learning or, uh, maths as a champion. Okay. So, what is that we are trying to look at in this particular case? See, this particular session is a first session where we are trying to look at, but what is that we need as a student or as a parent, what the parent is concerned about to his particular child. Okay. See, when we are saying, today is what? Today is actually the end of the May and 2026. Probably almost all the schools are getting started in June, second week or third week. And 10th class is supposed to be the most, important section of the life, school day life. And everybody, the teachers, students, parents are concerned about the, you know, student learning potential. Yeah, nowadays we call it as AI. That means, artificial intelligence, ML, machine learning. We call it as DL, that is deep learning. But, there is something called another potential called another learning called another intelligence, which we can say I say student intelligence. Students intelligence. I should not write apostrophe after the yes, I should write yes and then apostrophe. There is a big difference between this. Now I call this a student's intelligence. Wow. I am actually calling a new intelligence era that is known as students' intelligence. Okay, now what is that we want to look at when such type of transformation is taking place from ninth class to 10th class? ఎలా చూడాలి మనం ఏం చేస్తే వీఆర్ ఇంటూ ఇట్ ని సో వెరీ బేసిక్ థింగ్ వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు స్టార్ట్ ఆర్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ or we call it as basics, or you might be hearing from many of your teachers, gurus, and your parents also saying fundamentals. I think these two are the words you are listening quite often. We are trying to start your career in a high school. Everybody says keep update with your basics, fundamentals. But I try to focus or my very important thing now is students intelligence, SI. Let us call it as a AI, now SI. Now there is one more thing what coins are correlates with this, that is known as PI, that is practical intelligence also. So it beyond beyond AI, machine learning, deep learning, other things, there is something called student intelligence. Okay, now we have done enough exercise in this particular case. So suppose say if I ask you some basics of it, if we try to do some basics, can you solve some basics with me? Okay, let me see if you can solve certain basics with me. Let us go to the second page now. Let us go to the second page. And now I am in the second page. And let us again focus. I want to actually see that this particular image always keeps you engaging, right? This image always keeps you engaging. Now, I want to write students' intelligence every time. Okay. Whenever you see such particular maths arena video or maths, you are trying to grab something about the mathematics. What is very important is that, you know, our, learning potential, our, big requirement is that, see, the basics. Number one are the basics. How are our basics? So let me ask you a few questions. Uh, let me take you some few questions now. Question one, if I ask you, can you do this? So suppose say 25% of 50. If I ask you this question, this is one question you can actually think. Or if I ask you some other question, uh, 25% of what number is 50? This is again one more question. See, the challenge here is, what is the challenge here is that in how much time you are able to solve this question. That is the very beauty of this particular fundamentals. Now comes, this is the proportions and, fractions and percentage. This involves, these are the two questions. Before completing the questions, if you can solve in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, please put your message in the comment box. And what is the third question I should say? What is 4 by 5 plus, I should say 6 by 5? Now, this is again one more question, very important question where you need to focus on. Now, the question 4. What is the other question? You try to actually get it. If I say, if I give you one question, 3x plus 5 is equal to some 11. What is this? I need to solve this problem. If I say solve, what does this mean? How much is equal to x? So try to actually look at this question and give me your particular answer in, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. That is the challenge here. Now, what is the next question? Next question comes here is y is equal to 2x plus, I should say 3. What does this represent? What does this represent? This represents something very basic. This is being covered in your ninth class also. What does this represent? That is what is very important. If I give any value for x, can you find value for y? This is also another question. So there are 5 questions which I framed, which I try to frame, which involves fractions, percentage, that means comes into algebra, then comes 4 by 5 plus 6 by 5, that is comes into LCM, least common multiple. Then I asked you to solve for one variable, that is 3x plus y is equal to 11. How do you solve? Then y is equal to 2x plus 3. What does it represent? This is the very potential of your learning. The basics of all these things are very, very essential. And now try to solve these questions, and I'll post the answers also later on once you comment. Okay. See you, kids. Bye bye. And welcome to your Maths Champions Arena. Don't forget to subscribe and download and keep it with yourself so that you can learn more and more, more and more. See you. Bye.